nothing is safe with computers. Got a little article that I noticed a couple of days ago in, I forget which news site I went to. See if this pulls up. It talks about how malware, viruses and other types of malware, is really on the rise. And we have these companies that sell great protection software, like what do we use here at Delta State? McAfee, I believe. McAfee is one of the big companies, and there's 4 or 5 of them that really are pretty reliable. But they'll tell you that for every time they come up with a fix, one fix, 5 more hacks are available. So they're constantly working against these people. So it says, McAfee said that it had found more than 8 million new kinds of malware in the second quarter. That's just in 3 months. Up 23% from the first quarter. There are more than 9 million unique strands of malware. So there's so many hackers out there. And some of these hackers are, who are these hackers? You have a kind of a picture of a hacker, it's some really smart, nerdy kid who figures out how to break into a system. And that's true. There's a lot of smart, nerdy kids who stay up all night. They can't get a date, so I'm just kidding. They spend all this time on their computer. I had a student about 6 or 7 years ago whose dad used to be on the faculty here in the 1990s. When this kid was in 8th grade, I'm not going to say his name, when this kid was in 8th grade, he broke into the Delta State database and he was changing grades. College students were paying him $5 to change a grade. And he just broke right into it. He ended up going to school here, and he had to sign a paper saying that if he did one thing, he would be kicked out immediately. He was like on the terror list. And this kid now is making he's graduated a couple of years ago, he's making over $100,000 in the security industry. He's really a smart kid, and he knows how to hack. But and they say a lot of the people who work for the security firms are ex-hackers because they know how to hack and they know how to protect against hacking. So there's thousands of these guys out there. So it's partly just people who are just, let's see if I can break into Delta State, or let's see if I can break into some big company, FedEx or something, or they're even breaking into the FBI and the CIA databases and the military databases. It's really kind of scary. But what to me is more scary, there's professional hackers out there. One of the things they do is a type of extortion. Back in the old days, you ever see the old gangster movies in New York or Chicago where the gangsters come into the little restaurant and Pop hasn't paid his protection money, so they smash up the restaurant. So, he's paying for protection against the mob. Well, they have extortion on the web. There's a way of sending. This is one example of how you can take down someone's network. If you have enough people, enough computers trying to get to a certain website at the same time, and I'm not talking about 100 or 300, I'm talking about maybe 25,000 computers at the same moment try to get to a website, what will happen? It'll go down. It's called denial of service, DOS. There's just too many people trying to log on, so the network goes down. What happens sometimes is that the network or the IT manager of the company, or maybe the president of the company, they tend to do this to a more medium-sized company, they'll get a phone call and say, we've got your network, and for $1,000 a month or $1,000 a week, we'll open it up. Basically, they have to pay protection. They're extorted. And one of the problems is that businesses don't like to report this because they don't want it to get out in the news that their company is weak. Their security is weak. So they kind of, I read a statistic that the FBI says that 80% of successful hacks go unreported because the company doesn't want to admit that their systems are not secure. And this happens to large or small companies. And by the way that this denial of service works is that hackers will put a little piece of software on your computer. You open up an email that it's a little strange, or even go into a certain website, and a lot of these like free movie or free music download sites, sometimes you can pick these things up. So what they do is they install a little piece of software, just a small program, on your computer and 100,000 other computers, right? And you don't even know it's there. It doesn't affect your computer. It doesn't slow it down. You don't even see it. But they can then execute a command, and all 100,000 computers will try to log into or try to go to Google or somewhere. Now Google can handle this. They have so many servers. But a small, let's say Delta State, it would put Delta State down in just in a second. So that's what they do. And this is not teenagers who can't get dates. This is criminals who are doing it from places where you're kind of not going to be bothered by the law. And I've seen people say in certain little areas of Eastern Europe or in parts of Asia, China, international police can't really go after them, or really can't figure out how to find where these people are. They're making billions. So here's an article that there's 9 million unique strands of malware